Joe Jonas has been in the spotlight for nearly 2 decades now. From the squeaky clean Jonas Brothers era of the mid-2000s to now, we've seen him grow up, form DNCE, get married, become a dad, go through a public divorce, and now, in 2025, release a deeply personal solo album. But this week, what has people talking isn't just the music. It's something much more relatable. Joe Jonas just got really honest about how terrifying it is to start dating again after a divorce, and it's got fans saying, "Wow, he's just like us." In a recent Talk Shop Live interview, Joe opened up about how diving back into the dating world post-divorce was, in his own words, really scary and intimidating. And that might sound surprising coming from a global pop star, someone who's constantly surrounded by admiration and opportunity. But that's exactly what makes his honesty so compelling. He said, "It was a big deal, and honestly, you could see it in his body language. This wasn't just a throwaway comment. He meant it." This was someone who's been through the emotional ringer and is finally talking about what that does to a person. It's been nearly 2 years since Joe and actress Sophie Turner ended their 4-year marriage. Their split made major headlines, not just because they're both celebrities, but because of the legal drama that followed. There was the custody battle, the vague public statements, the speculation. For a while, it felt like every tabloid was focused on Joe and Sophie's breakup, like it was a sporting event. And for a guy who was once America's teenage heartthrob, the scrutiny was relentless. So when Joe says dating again felt intimidating, it's not hard to understand why. He's not just stepping into the dating pool, he's doing it with the entire world watching. And while the tabloids had a field day speculating about whether he was seeing anyone new, Joe mostly kept things private. Until now. And it turns out this emotional vulnerability didn't just sit in interviews. It's all over his new solo album, Music for People Who Believe in Love. Released on May 23rd, the album marks Joe's first solo venture in 14 years. Yeah, you heard that right, 14 years. His last solo project was Fast Life in 2011, and let's just say the world and Joe have changed a lot since then. This time around, he's not trying to prove he's edgy or break away from his boy band image. Instead, he's laying it all out. The songs are soaked in honesty, melancholy, hope, and reflection. And one of the standout tracks? A song called Only Love. Now, what's wild about Only Love is how it was born. According to Joe, he was talking to someone he had just started dating. Not seriously, just kind of dipping his toes back in the water. And when the topic of love came up, that person shrugged and said, "Well, it's only love." For most people, that's a flippant comment. But for Joe, it stuck with him. It lingered. He said, "It really hit me like a train," and before long, he was writing lyrics. That song became one of the cornerstones of the album. And get this, it was originally written as a Jonas Brothers track. But when Joe realized how personal it had become, he knew it had to stand alone. Even his brothers, Nick and Kevin, agreed. They told him, "This is your song." That kind of brotherly support? Pretty wholesome. Only Love is delicate and introspective. It explores the idea that love is both everything and nothing at the same time. The heartbreak, the hope, the fear, it's all there. It's a song for anyone who's ever been afraid to try again after being hurt. And judging by the early reaction from fans, it's already resonating deeply. But the emotional rawness doesn't stop with Only Love. The entire album is full of quiet revelations. Another track, Work It Out, might sound upbeat on the surface, but it hides one of the most viral lyrics of the year so far. Even baddies get saddies. It's funny, yes, but it's also true. And it speaks to Joe's desire to mix vulnerability with levity. He's not trying to sound tragic or broken, he's just being real. Everyone, no matter how good they look or how successful they are, deals with sadness. And then there's Heart by Heart, a track that's already being called the emotional centerpiece of the album. It's soft, slow, and aching with longing. The kind of song you play on a rainy day when you're trying to make sense of everything that's happened to you. It doesn't offer answers, but it makes you feel understood. The album features collaborations with some unexpected artists too, like Domi and JD Beck, Sierra Farrell, Luisa Sonza, and even his younger brother Frankie Jonas, who lends his voice and songwriting to the record. It's not a feature-packed radio-chasing pop album. It's a cohesive, personal project that sounds like Joe has been waiting years to make it. Now let's talk about that viral TikTok moment, because yes, Joe Jonas is trending for that too. He recently reunited with Alien AJ in a TikTok video where they lip-synced to potential breakup song. If you know, you know. This is the same song long rumored to be about Joe himself, from his teen dating days. The moment was playful, self-aware, and kind of genius. It's not easy to poke fun at your past in a way that feels confident and endearing, but Joe pulled it off. People loved it. It showed that he's not running from his history. He's embracing it. And that's part of what's so refreshing about Joe right now. He's not trying to rewrite the past or pretend he's always had it figured out. He's showing growth. He's showing process. And people are responding to that. Joe also shared that creating this album helped him heal. He said it allowed him to put the pieces back together and understand who he is outside of relationships, outside of fame, outside of being a Jonas brother. That's huge. We don't often see celebrities this honest, this open, but here, he is saying things like, "I'm still figuring it out," and letting that messiness be part of the art. And while the music and the TikToks are cool, what fans are really connecting with is the message. Joe Jonas isn't trying to be perfect. He's just trying to be honest. Whether you're 16 or 36, that hits home. That matters. Especially in a world where most people are putting filters on everything, Joe's pulling them off. It's also interesting to think about where this puts him in the broader celebrity landscape. He could have gone quiet post-divorce. He could have hidden away and let the tabloids spin whatever narrative they wanted. But instead, he chose to speak. Through interviews, yes, but more powerfully, through music. And maybe that's the real story here. Not that Joe Jonas is dating again, or that he released an album, or that he's gone viral on TikTok. The story is that he's taking control of his narrative. He's telling us, this is how it felt. This is how it feels now. And if you've ever gone through a breakup, if you've ever been afraid to start over, if you've ever wondered who you are after everything falls apart, you get it. Joe Jonas is trending in 2025, not because of a scandal or a PR stunt, but because he's made something that feels real in a time when real is rare. His new music isn't just catchy, it's cathartic. His interviews aren't rehearsed, they're raw. And that's what makes this moment so compelling. So whether you're a longtime Jonas Brothers fan, someone who's just gone through a breakup, or just someone looking for music that understands what it means to love and lose and keep going, Joe Jonas might just have something for you. Not just a song, not just a lyric, but a reminder. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to feel things deeply. And yes, it's okay to believe in love again. And maybe that's the most rock star move of all.